two things I would change about the U.S. education system is I would put a business person that had experience organizing and managing a company that was massively decentralized. Yeah. Senior executive at Google. Very, very large company that has resisted this over-centralization. Does Google have organizational problems? Absolutely. Is there bureaucracy at Google? Absolutely. But for the scale and scope of what Google has created and how it's created it, it's pretty remarkable how decentralized decision-making and authority has been maintained. I'd put a person like that at the top of the whole thing, which is probably the head of Department of Education or whatever federal level. And I'd give that person the mandate to completely re-architect it by tearing it apart and rebuilding it rather than preserving it. I wouldn't try to do it incrementally. I wouldn't try to do it bit by bit, program by program, city by city. And I also wouldn't worry too much about what exists. I'd say, hey, you got this thing, it exists. And you're not going to delete and start from scratch. But create a parallel universe completely from scratch. Let it be an opt-in parallel universe. Let it still be a public thing, but just completely from scratch. And anyone who wants to opt into it can opt into it. And over the next 20 years, what will happen is it'll take over and the old model will disappear. But you have to put somebody in place at the beginning that understands that construct of an organization at scale. And you also have to realize that it's not a goal of taking your existing thing and changing it. It's about allocating some meaningful amount of resource to this complete parallel universe, trying lots of things, failing at lots of stuff, iterating as you go, and letting people opt into it. And my guess is that the people that will opt into it will be the higher performing kids who are less satisfied with the experience they're having all across the US in different schools, and the parents who are less satisfied with the experience their kids are having. And that will not become something that positively reinforces only the successful and smart kids and the misfits. What it'll do is it'll help develop much, much better ways of broad teaching that can be applicable, because of the accelerating dynamics of kids who are already good learners. And will you have to do a bridge to the kids that are not good learners? Absolutely, that's part of it. But you're going to want to build that bridge over time versus try to shake it all at once, which just simply won't work. So that's piece number one.